Good morning, everyone. Hope you guys are all doing well on this Sunday AM morning. Um, Glad to see we got a few people in here already watching. Um, Everything around here has been going great. I have had chicks hatching like you would not believe. Probably, I don't know, at least two incubators every week or every other week. Um, it's just been off the wall over here. I've got all my brooders are full. Had a really nice family come by yesterday out of Miami. They were on their way moving north to northern Florida a little bit, and they called me about halfway in and said, "Hey, do you mind if we come by and check out your birds and your operation?" I said, "Yeah, no problem. Come on over." So, good morning, HP. Glad to see you're in here. Um, so it was really neat. I mean, they brought their whole family, kids and everything, and they really enjoyed themselves. And they actually walked out of here with, I want to say, about 100 birds. It was funny because they didn't come here planning to buy birds. They just, wanted to see the shop. So, Finland in the house tonight. Glad you could join us. Quail Kawaii. Quail Kawaii, I think that's how it's pronounced. Good morning. Glad you could join us. So yeah, it's been really busy around here. Sorry about last week, guys. I was a little bit under the weather, so I just decided to go ahead and pull the plug on last week's morning live stream, but we'll make up for it today. For those of you, I don't know how many people we have here from the Coturnix Corner group or community. For those of you who have received the incubators, if you would let me know, and you guys will know who I'm talking about. It's an incubator for review. I do want to say that I am on my fourth hatch with that incubator, and it's been working really, really well. So hopefully you guys get the same results, and we can get some good reviews going for these guys. I also got something in the mail the other day. Well, last week, actually. I was going to announce it on last week's live, but I wasn't here. One of our members, he's in morning, Double R Farms. Glad you could join us. One of our members in the Coturnix Corner community, is also on Facebook, created these things, I think it was last year sometime. They're called the Quail Pop. And what you do is you mount them to a post. I have mine mounted to the side of my aviary. But what you do is you can stick the bird's head in here when you're butchering, and with a slight little pull, you can do a cervical dislocation with this thing. It's really nice. I actually did a video on them on the channel, and they work really good. He looks like he's made some improvements to the weld, but he also sent some other stuff. This is a little kit he's got going. You can get quail egg scissors, forceps. I don't really know what these would be used for. Maybe reaching up in there and getting some hard to get guts. And then he's got a spoon, which is used for cleaning the guts out of the bird. And I've actually used one of these before. They work really well. It's got the little split down the center. So I can't remember what the guy's Etsy channel is, or I would give it to you. But he's selling those things. So if you guys do a lot of butchering and whatnot, I can highly recommend those. Like I say, I've been using mine now for better than a year, and it's worked really well for me. I actually broke it not too long ago. I was out working the bees, and I was moving away from the bees with my back to where the Quail Pop's mounted, and I hit it and snapped it off. Oh, okay. Thanks, Anita. Hemostats for lung removal. I did not realize that. But anyhow, I bumped into it and broke the thing off right at the weld point, so that was my fault. Also, guys, I don't know how many of you remember, we did a live stream on the Coturnix Corner Live with Rebecca Lynch and a guy named Jeff Maddox. It was all about poultry nutrition. I just talked to him within the past week, and he is coming back on the channel next month. I'm not sure on the exact date. It will be in October. Hold on, let me look it up real quick, see if I can. But he's coming back on the channel to answer questions. And it's been there was a lot of questions that we couldn't get to. Okay, it looks like it's on the 18th of October. There was a lot of, and it will be at 7 o'clock, our normal live stream time. But anyhow, there was a lot of questions that we couldn't get to. He does have a post over in the Coturnix Corner Facebook group where he's been, answering questions. But I think it's really nice that he's coming back on the live and willing to do that again, because that was really, really interesting. And also a couple weeks ago here on the channel, we talked about, or here on the Morning Musings, we talked about, or I talked about the Appalachian Trail, a movie that I watched, which takes place on the trail. And I thought, I'd love to do that, maybe next year or something. And I'm getting books now. A friend of mine, he caught that and he said, hold on, I got a book for you. So now they've got me reading up on the subject. Anita Garrett's been not doing the same thing, but she's been really helpful with, parts of the trail up in her neck of the woods. So, yeah, I thought that was really funny. I do want to mention something that Foggy Forest Pharmacy SC shop for the quail pop. Okay, cool. Thanks, Anita. Appreciate that. I do want to mention something that went down yesterday over on Facebook, the group page. I had made a post where I shared a couple screenshots of comments that were made in another group, and they were really disturbing, I guess you would say. Or they were, I don't know. It really got to me. And the biggest thing is they were saying how Coturnix Corner is nothing more than a money grab. That's all I'm in it for, and all my sponsors pay me. They even said that I have my guests that come on the show, I am charging them for them to come on the show. Guys, I just want you to know it's total nonsense. They even called out a couple other farms. It's just downright, I don't know, abuse. And I hope I'm not a member of that group because they banned me from that group, but I'm hoping that they took those posts down because it's, to me, it's just libel. And we get prizes from our sponsors. Southwest Game Birds donates hatching eggs to give away. Hatching Time gives us a $50 gift certificate every week to give away, and then all our sponsors for the Coturnix Kids program. Nobody's paying me to do this. I'm not getting any money. Yeah, I get a little bit of money from the channel through YouTube, but as far as the sponsors go, guys, I don't get no money for this stuff. I'm doing this just to share with you my experiences in quail and to have a portal for you guys to share your experiences with quail. So I've been thinking long and hard on it, and I don't know if I really want to say this or not. I don't know how long my future with the Coturnix Corner Facebook group is going to be. I'm just thinking seriously about stepping down from it, let somebody else take over the group, and I'll just work with the Coturnix Corner community and the YouTube channel and go from there. But I don't know, all this nonsense on Facebook, it's too much to deal with, I guess. So enough out of that, or out of me on that stuff. So let's go ahead and jump in the chat room and see what you guys got going on today. I am building cages. If I don't know if you guys saw the pictures that I posted. I posted some on Coturnix Corner community. Posted some over on Facebook. I'm building a bunch of new all-wire cages. Where I'm kind of expanding my operation a little bit. I'm going to have one whole wall of Hatching Time equipment, and then one whole wall of my DIY all-wire cages. So I think that will be cool. Samantha Stratton's in the house. Says good morning from Michigan. Glad you could join us, Samantha. Deborah says good morning from Harlingen, Texas. Looking forward to the chat. Glad you could join us. Glenn's in the house. Another good morning from Michigan. We got a lot of Michiganders in here. Nita says, good morning. I'm glad you could join us, Nita. And I hope you're doing well over there. John's in the house. Says, howdy, y'all. Good morning from Louisiana. This is a cool name. Foraging and Cooking with Kids. Good morning from Wyoming. Beautiful country out there. Red Bees in the house says good morning from Utah. We got a Facebook user. Oh, that's right. Normally I don't stream the morning musings on Facebook, but I forgot to change the setting in my software when I set up the live stream. But anyhow, for you users or for you that are joining us from Facebook, I can't see your name. If you go up to the top of that description, there is a link in there that you can give Facebook permission to share your name and your profile icon. But without it, I have no idea who you are. Dane Paget's in the house. Says good morning from Georgia. Glad you could join us, Dane. HP Murray's in the house. Good morning. I'm glad you could join us, HP. Diablo Babe says good morning from Finland. Quail Kauai here. Glad you could join us. All Good Life says good morning from North Carolina. And I'm drinking water again. I've been up since 6 o'clock drinking coffee, so I'm back on my water now. Double R Farms in the house says good morning. I'm glad you got your tumblers, and I'm glad that you like them, and I appreciate your order. Don Skin says hello from South Mississippi. Hello, Don. Double R Farm says I got my quail pop from him last week. They're made very well, solid construction on them. I agree. After looking at this new one, I had actually contacted him about the other one breaking. I told him it broke right at the weld points, and he just kind of laughed. He goes, Terry, you got the first or the second quail pop that I ever built. So he has modified his welding technique, and it looks like he's doing a really good job on it. Anita Garrett says hemostats are for lung removal. Daniel says first-time listener, watched a handful of videos, enjoyed them all. Have you tried the Metacuplex incubator? I have not. I normally, and I said this on a video I did. I don't know if you can see the incubator behind me. That yellow-looking thing, maybe the one with the green bottle sticking out of it. That's a Van Popub's. And when they reached out to me, asked me if I'd be interested in doing a review, I actually told them no. That I didn't really want to, start reviewing entry-level equipment, just because, I'm a firm believer. Spend a little bit more money and get a good product, a known product that works. Anyhow, after a lot of convincing, they sent me out one. They said, test it out. If you like it, review it. If not, do whatever you want with it. And I'm on my 4th hatch with it right now, guys, and it's done really, really well for me. But as far as the Metacuplex, no, I have not. I know that Jennifer Bryant did incubator comparison, and I think she had one of those in with it, and I don't really remember how it did, but yeah, for the most part, I don't review entry level stuff. Anita says Foggy Forest Farm is the Etsy shop for the quail pop. So there you go, guys. Child of God's in the house says good morning from Indiana. We'll be listening while cleaning cages. That's exactly what I'm going to do as soon as I get out of here. I've got cages to clean. I got cages to build. My wife's actually out there right now cleaning trays and whatnot. So just how I like to start my day. Coffee with Terry. Glad you could join us. Bill says, good morning from Pennsylvania, watching chicks hatch. Cool. Good luck on your hatch. Glenn says, that's a bummer. It's a very nice place to go to get up-to-date info. And thank you for what you do. I wonder who this is. Terry, don't lie. You charge me 99 cents to be on your show. That sounds like that would be Mark. That's a lie, too, guys. Diablo Babe says, how long does it take you to build one cage? Once I've got the wire cut out, I can have the cage assembled in 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. It doesn't take long. I've got almost like an assembly line when I'm building those cages. I get all my wire cut first, make all my bends, and then So let's say from the time I cut the wire to making the bends to, J clipping it all together, it's probably 30 to 45 minutes. But as far as actually assembling the cages, it only takes me like 15, 20 minutes. Plus tax, he says. Double R Farm says, Terry, you only have haters because they're jealous of you. You're doing great things for the quail community. I understand not wanting to be around the drama. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys are new and haven't been around a while, but this is an ongoing issue with a certain group and a certain farm. I tried to make the peace with them. They didn't want to do a part of it. So, but anyhow, we normally don't talk as far as, farm issues and whatnot, and I never bring it up, but their followers still do. They're still, they don't like Coturnix Corner. And the guys that made the post, I can understand why they're mad. I mean, I booted them out of Coturnix Corner probably a year or so ago for doing the exact same thing. So, play by the rules or you're gone, but I don't know. I'm really tired of it. Seriously considering just handing the reins over to somebody else and letting them deal with it. Samantha says, question, how do you get your wire flat after unrolling? I made one cage and the floor is wavy. Yeah, that's kind of tricky. What I do is I lay the wire down on the floor of my shop, and you got to have a lot of room in there. But I stand behind the roll, and say if this was your roll of wire, the wire's coming off this way, I stand behind it and I push it this way and kind of push down on the wire, and it'll flatten it out as it comes off the roll. But yeah, sometimes you got to, do a little adjusting and whatnot, when you're doing it. But a lot of times, I knew it was Mark. A lot of times, when you put a bend in the wire for like the egg rollout or the back, if you're following my instructions, that will pretty much flatten everything out there too. You made me mail it in coins. Gotta love Mark. So GIS Herb says, good morning, Terry. Time to get my omelet on. Cool. That sounds good, man. Glenn says omelet sounds great. It does, actually. I hard boiled up a whole bunch of eggs yesterday. Probably, 200 or so. And I went and bought all the stuff to make pickled eggs. So I'm going to be doing that later on today. Had a hankering for them lately. Fat Bike Expedition says good morning and happy cage cleaning day. Brooks in the house is morning from Virginia. Thanks for all you do, Terry. This channel has been instrumental in our quail journey. I'm glad you're enjoying the channel. I'm glad it's helpful. I am going to keep doing the YouTube stuff and the Coturnix Corner community stuff. Like I say, I haven't really made up my mind yet. I'm going to give it a week or so and see. I might change my mind again, but yesterday I was ready to pull the plug on the whole thing and just say I'm done with it, but I don't know. And the thing that bothers me the most, I don't care, you want to talk crap about me, go ahead. But when you start bringing in businesses and people that I consider friends, I don't really appreciate that. Why on earth are they, taking the brunt of your hate for me? You want to hate me? Fine, I don't care. But, leave my friends and stuff out of it. Sazenpins. I hope I said that right. Hello from New Jersey. Will also be cleaning cages once I finish my coffee. Always enjoy your video and learned a lot from them. Cool. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. And yes, it is cage cleaning day. Glenn says I'm building cages today too, getting ready to hatch too. It's funny that usually this time of year, as fall starts coming in, things really slow down for me. But it's actually been picking up, and I don't know why. I mean, I've run a few ads on Craigslist for chicks and hatching eggs, and I won't say I'm having a hard time keeping up, but I'm getting quite a few responses on the ads. So, and usually it's exactly opposite. Usually springtime is when I get all the responses. Bill says had 4 chicks hatch in the wee hours morning of day 17. Most hatched. Day 17 got up to 2 more wet chicks this morning on day 18. 1 egg left. Guess I will wait till this afternoon to take them out. yeah, make sure they're all good and dry. And congratulations, that's a really good hatch. So, but yeah, definitely, let them dry out. They'll be fine for, you know, 36, even 48 hours in incubator. So, Mary Howard's in the house. Says good morning, late again. Oh well, better late than never. Glad you could join us anyhow, Mary, and happy birthday to you. Dale Strong says good morning, everyone. Running late. Andy Rabbit's in the house. Says good morning. And Mary says, yep, Sunday is cage cleaning day in the Howard household. Yeah, I think that's, weekends are a good time, especially for the working people, that weekends a good time to schedule your cleaning and taking care of your birds and whatnot. Luckily for me, I am retired, so I can spend a little more time out there. But I also got my wife helping me. She does a really good job of keeping the cages clean and informing me when we're running low on feed and stuff like that. So that brings us down to the bottom of the list. Actually, I see Mary just said, glad to hear things are picking up for your business, Terry. Yeah, we are slowly starting to ramp up Gulf Coast quail. We actually have eggs listed on the website. I still got a lot of work to do on the website. There's so much stuff I want to add to it, but I've just been really, really busy and, sitting down, finding time to do website work isn't at the top of my list of enjoyment, so I've been kind of slacking on it. Dale Strong says, yeah, cage cleaning day, of course. Glenn says, snow's right around the corner. What's the best way to protect the birds? If your birds are outside, penned outside, put up, wind blocks. They can handle the cold. That's no big deal. As long as they can get, out of the wind and the weather, you don't want them getting wet and getting chilled or anything. So just make sure that there is an opportunity for them to either by, making a hide somewhere that they can get out of the wind, or I know I see some people putting plastic up around their enclosures just to, act as a wind block, and it does pretty good. I mean, I know people, friends of mine, they're up in northern Michigan and northern Canada, and they have no problems with their birds in, sub-zero temperatures. Like I say, they can handle the cold as long as I should say they can handle the cold as if they're fully feathered out. You obviously don't want to put young chicks out there that, aren't feathered out or haven't been weaned off the heat and weaned into the colder weather. So, but yeah, just like I say, block the wind and weather from hitting them. They should be fine. You don't have to worry about adding any supplemental heat or anything. They'll do just fine in the cold. Delaney's in the house. Says built the rollout cage. They sneak out, so I put a 1x4 on it. They get together, and two of them will flip over the board. Huh. Really? You're not talking adult quail that are squeezing under the rollout cage? If you are, your opening is too high. The opening on my rollout is about 1.5 inches, I want to say. What I do is the wire that I use on the front of my cages is 1x2. So what I'll do is I'll put a J-clip at the top of one of those clips so that bottom of the front of the wire can only go up so high. It gives you about 1.5 inches to 1.75 inches of clearance. And then what I'll do is take a 1/8 inch dowel rod or a 3/16 steel dowel rod that you get at Home Depot. They're like $3, and I'll J-clip that across the front where the rollout cage is. Let's see, if this is your rollout and the cage comes down, this is your little opening, I J-clip it right along this point here. That just stiffens up that front of the cage, makes it a little bit harder for them to, try to push out and push underneath it. So, yeah. Hopefully your birds will... That's weird. I got a delay. I'm seeing questions pop up over here, but it takes a few minutes for them to pop up over on my other computer. Murray says, hey, Terry, my mom said, don't worry about Don't worry about those that are talking badly about you. At least you're not picking on someone else. At least they are not picking on someone else. But when they start including your friends, just block them. Yeah, they've already been blocked, Mary, from Coturnix Corner groups, but the other groups, you know, they're still members of those. So, and it doesn't bother me. I don't, you want to talk crap about me, go ahead. I don't really care. But, they don't even have the cojones to do it to my face. They'd rather do it behind my back. Okay. And he says, 1 year ago, it was so cold here, I had a hen that had an egg frozen to her chest. That's cold. Wow. I forgot where you're at. But that is chilly. The La Rochelle Farm says, Terry, just let all the drama go. Absolutely. I agree 100%. A lot of keyboard warriors out there. Yes, there are. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to go over to this. I can't put them on the screen until they pop up over on this computer, though, in the software. There we go. Glenn says, do any of you feed your birds watermelon? They love it, and it's funny to watch them. Their calls are great when you do. We do. When we buy watermelon, my wife will cut it all up, and whatever's left on the rind, we'll cut them into smaller pieces and put the whole rind and everything right in the cage and let them go nuts with it. Yeah, they do love it. And, especially down here in the heat of summer, that added water, and it's almost like an electrolyte. Andy's in Missouri. Cool. It's almost like an electrolyte supplement, giving them watermelons. I know there's a lot of good vitamins and whatnot in there. So cool. Yeah, watermelons are a good treat for quail. I do cucumbers too, on occasion. I'm not a big treat person when it comes to the birds. Not because I don't want them to have treats. It's just that it's an extra thing that I've got to do, an extra expense buying the treats and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I just don't do it that much. Andy Rabbit says, funny part, it wasn't even her egg. It was a Celadon egg. Cool. That's good, Mark. I like hearing Terry talking about quail in the cold, especially when he's out in his man thong tanning while we shovel snow. That's funny, Mark. Hold on, let's see what's going on over here. Florida, we get, I won't say cold weather, but we get, pretty chilly weather. One year, and I don't remember the exact year, I want to say back in the late 80s, early 90s, it actually snowed here in Fort Myers. I was coming out of Dallas, Texas, the night before. I had to get home. I remember it because I had to be home for Christmas Day. And driving across I-10 from Dallas, when I got into Florida, they actually had parts of I-10 closed. You couldn't get through because of the icing on the bridges. And so I jumped off on some side roads and made my way home. But yeah, it snowed from like I-10 all the way home. When I pulled into the driveway and shut the truck off, I got out and you could just see these, nice big flakes starting to fall. So, yeah, it's Florida. We don't get cold all the time. And but we do have, a winter down here. And I love the winters down here because the weather's almost perfect. High temperatures, say in the 60s. That's nice. There's a Facebook user that says, stay strong, Terry. You got to remember, it's always one guy or business that tries to ruin it for everyone. People always try to bring down others when they stand your ground. So sorry, you have to continue to deal with the ridiculous behavior. Even if you walked away today, you made a huge positive impact on the quail community. You will continue to teach and support thousands of people every day. I really appreciate you and your channel. If and when I walk away, the only thing I'm walking away from is the Coturnix Corner Facebook group. I'm still sticking with CoturnixCorner.com, which is the community. I'm still going to be doing the YouTube channel, even though I've been slacking on the YouTube channel lately. It's just because I've got a whole bunch of other stuff I've been working on. And I'm still going to do live streams. The only thing that'll change is I'm not going to be part of the whole Facebook drama group because it doesn't go away. It's been there for a long time, and yeah, it just doesn't go away. Mary says, "Farm funny, La Rochelle Farm funny." Yes, it is. I was waiting for somebody to mention that. It says, Terry, I saw you switched to hatching time cages. Now I see you're making some. What's up with that? I love my hatching time cages. 90% of what I have out there right now is hatching time cages. But I'm wanting more cages because, like I said, I'm expanding my operation. And for the cost of a hatching time cage, I could build a whole bunch of my cages. So that's the whole point behind that. Not that I don't like the hatching time cages. It's just I don't want to spend the extra money when I can just buy it and do that. So, yeah. I can't afford to build one of them big monster cages like you did. Bob Coles in the house says, good morning. Glad you could join us, Bob. Underhill says, Facebook is terrible. Good for you. Andrew Rabbit said, Facebook is bad. It's like being in high school again. I stay away from Facebook as much as I can. And that was the whole reason behind the Coturnix Corner community website was the Facebook drama was unreal. And if you go over to the Coturnix Corner community, which is coturnixcorner.com, there's absolutely zero issues with, drama or people talking about some other people or bad mouthing a farm because you got a bad hatch rate or whatever. Yeah. Andrew Rabbit said there should be rehabs for Facebook. Mark says, mine's for sale, $100 and it's yours. Does that include the shipping? Or are you going to bring it down here with one of them big fancy new excavators you got and dig me a swimming pool? Okay, we are out of comments and questions, and it's a little early, but unless you guys got anything else in particular that you want to bring up and talk about, I think I'm just going to go ahead and pull the plug on this one and get out there and get some work done on the quail. Like I said, I just got another roll of wire in, so I've got enough to build 1, 2, 3, probably 8 or 9 3-tier units. So Child of God says, I too have issues with cage prices. Love the look though, would love to have them. Yeah, if you're talking about the hatching time cages, you either love them or you hate them. I actually like them very much. They do exactly what I need them to do. They are the easiest cages that I've had as far as keeping them clean and hygienic. All I do is, I can take them off their stands, wheel them up right outside the door, and in the summertime, even with the birds in it, I can hose down the cages. Most of the time, I'll pull the birds out and put them in a different cage, take them out and pressure wash the cages. But if I'm just, doing a light dust cleaning, I can do it with the birds in. Mark says, have a great week. You too, Mark. Appreciate you joining us today. And I wish you'd get back into quail like you were. I really liked seeing, watching you expand. You were doing so good there for a while. Double R Farm says, have a great week. See you on your live. Yes, this coming Tuesday, guys. If everything goes right, we have Bree Patz from the American Coturnix Breeders Association coming on. She's got some updates that she wants to give you guys. The ACBA is doing really well. They've got a pretty good membership group already, and they're starting to get the benefits in that they've been talking about all along as far as articles and whatnot. So yeah, things are really going good, and I can only imagine after next year. Like right now, we're coming into the slow season, but I can only imagine after the first of the year when things start ramping up again, it's really going to take off. And I too have some questions for Bree because I've been a member of the American Rabbit Breeders Association for many years, and there's some stuff that they do in there that I'm curious if they're going to incorporate that into this quail group. So, yeah, it ought to be very interesting. Let's see. Do you put anything on the ground in your flight pens? I really don't have a flight pen. I have an aviary, and I use the deep litter method, which is basically about 8 inches of mulch in the bottom of the pen, and then I'll just turn that, every other week, every 3 weeks. So just turning the manure in a little bit to help it compost a little bit quicker. Facebook user says, do you increase protein for your birds during molt time? Not really. I usually keep them on a layer feed, which is a 30% protein from, or not a layer feed, I'm sorry, a grower from, or starter from the time they hatch up until the time they start laying eggs, which is about 6 weeks. And then from that point forward, they're on layer the rest of their life. I haven't really had any issues, with protein or, them growing back feathers after a molt. The only thing that I will do is if I notice that I'm getting some not soft shell eggs, but eggshells that are a little bit thinner and, break easily or actually just break, from them rolling out, I will increase their calcium. And I just started a new thing, which was recommended by Jeff Maddox, and that is I'm adding grit to the feed now for my birds. And am I seeing a difference? Really, I can't tell, but he says to give it to him, and I trust him. He's a poultry nutritionist, so I do sprinkle grit on top of their feed. Okay, not talking to me. Gail's Quail's in the house this morning. Terry, good morning. Not talking to me. Glenn says, thank you so much for what you bring us. Absolutely. Davis Family 5 says, good morning from Alabama. Sweet home Alabama. Stoltz, 1945 says, hey Terry, just got started with quail about 2 weeks ago. Love all your videos. Super informative and helpful. But I got a hen suddenly with wry neck. Is there anything that you can do or just call? I call. I don't waste my time. Yeah, and I know that some people say that you can, up the vitamins to them. I think it's the B complex vitamins or something. I'm not sure. But I just call them. There's no sense bringing it in. And if they are getting wry neck, you don't want to take the chance of it being something that's genetic that can be passed on. So, yeah. Anita says, have a good week and don't stress it too much. It's not worth it. I'm off to work on a special project. Cool. Thanks for joining us, Anita. Really appreciate you being here. Bob Cole says, Terry, do you add lights to extend laying? Bob, my shop is on all my quail are indoors in a room. And my lights are all on timers. They come on at 6:30 in the morning and go off at 10:30 at night. So, yes. But they're extended all the time. It's even my chicks get the long daylight hours. Unless I've got a lot of times I'll have the brooders in here for day old chicks because this room is usually pretty warm compared to the shop because we've got the air conditioners on out there. But yeah, as far as the lighting question goes, yes, I do keep lighting on. Mary, I'd like to go back to kindergarten in Hawaii around my high school. Yeah. Okay. Not talking to me and not talking to me. All right, guys, that brings us down to the bottom of the question. It's close enough now to 9 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and pull the plug. Glenn, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. So what do I want to say? Tuesday, join us, guys. I'm still going to keep an eye out for the announcements on the live stream Tuesday. I've got to contact Bree tomorrow and let her know 100% for sure if we're going to go live. But as far as it looks right now, yes, we are. And that's going to be really interesting. I love talking about that new group. And I know you guys probably have a lot of questions for Bree. But I can say, I am a member of the group and things are progressing very nicely and I think that it's going to work out. So HB Murray says, I feed pigeon grit, free choice for all caged birds. Cool. So I guess there is some truth to what Jeff was telling me, about grit being beneficial to the quail. And I was always under the impression, I even said it on the channel here, that that you didn't, if you were feeding crumbles, that you didn't need to feed grit because crumbles were water soluble. But from what Jeff was telling me is, even though they're water soluble, if they get a larger piece of crumble, it helps them break it down so they're getting the complete nutritional value out of all the crumbles versus, just swallowing one, haven't passed through your system whole. Like I say, I'm not a nutritionist or anything, but if he tells me it, I'm going to go ahead and use it. Underhill says, I mix chick grit in my feed now. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Like I say, I'm going to try it out for a year. Are you still fermenting your feed? Not as much as I used to. Most of the time when I was fermenting was when I had birds out in the aviary. But, for the time it takes me to ferment feed. And another thing, that was another thing Jeff said, that fermenting feed is the last thing he would like to see done for quail. Just because there's so many issues that can arise from it. You are creating a product that's got bacteria and whatnot in it, and you could be, the quail can be ingesting that. So I don't know the whole reasoning behind it, but as far as am I still feeding fermented feed? No, I did all the time with my chickens. They loved it, but they were outdoors, and to feed them indoors, I've got to have the special feeders, which are the little plastic shoebox feeders, and it's just too much work now. Since I've expanded my operation a little bit bigger, I've got to keep things, easier for me and my wife. She doesn't like when I put all that work on her. Okay, absolutely. Not a problem. All right, guys. We'll go ahead and pull the plug again Tuesday. I hope you guys have a great weekend, what's left of it, and a great upcoming week. I'm sorry about airing out the Facebook drama here on the live, but that stuff gets to you after a while. We had 3 good friends of mine got called out, and I don't appreciate it. So anyhow, enjoy your week, and good luck with all your hatches and all your quail, and yeah, have a good one, guys. We'll see you.